Hey guys, how's it going? Eminem Gaming here, and today we're back with another video. And today, this is sort of a different video, but as I always say, if any of you guys ever have a question, obviously let me know on Twitter, let me know in the comment section, direct message me, whatever you want to do. I'll always answer any questions you've got. This is from @Tim_LFC, all capital letters, number 8, and he asked, 3 questions. I'm going to answer them all, but you know me, I ramble, I talk a lot, so they're going to be 3 separate videos, maybe 5 to 10 minutes long, but, overall, you see what I'm saying. Awesome questions, so thank you. Also, I want to say thank you for the 50 subscribers, man, that is crazy. It's not a huge lot. I mean, PewDiePie probably gets it in 5 minutes, you know what I mean? But for me, amazing. It's awesome that anyone wants to watch the channel, so thank you so much. Ton of content coming. Uncharted 4 right round the corner. Valkyria Chronicles, if you want to see that. Live streams on the way. It's looking positive, it's looking bright, and I'm really happy. So let's get into this video, guys. And this question was, what are my top 5 developers and why? So this is just my personal opinion. Let me know your 5 developers. And I noticed from this list a lot of Sony first party, and this may be why I'm such a big Sony fan, because they've got some great first party studios, but there is a multi-plat one there, so take it with what it is. But first of all, now there's going to be 2 on this. You could argue is a cheat, but they're all under one roof, so you know what I'm saying. And that is Sony Santa Monica. Fantastic studio. I mean, when you think of AAA games, you don't really think far off God of War. You know what I mean? Big set pieces, great music, great fighting, great mechanics, beautiful. Really takes advantage of whatever hardware it's on, whether it be PS2, whether it be PS3, or whether it be PlayStation 4. And personally, I cannot wait until the new God of War 4 game comes out, to see that at E3, to see everyone happy, to see the returning franchise, and to see what one of the most talented developers in general in gaming can do on the PlayStation 4, and possibly the new upgraded PS4. Gets me excited as a gamer to spend my hard-earned money. So for me, I cannot wait for that. But that's not the only reason, because really, if I was just going by AAA games, I could have gone for anyone. But the reason I went for Santa Monica was because of XDev. Yes, XDev are an external studio, but they're very closely linked with Santa Monica, if I'm not mistaken. Now, XDev have some of the best indie games ever created, and I'm not even over exaggerating. From Journey to Flower to Flow, just them alone are brilliant games. I mean, look at the review scores for Journey. It's simply incredible. But they really give indie developers, a platform to really go from and really, improve. I mean, some of the games could just simply not ever come out without the help of XDev, and with some of the games are so ambitious and so different that I don't think a lot of people would put their money behind it, but Santa Monica and XDev do, and that's why I love them. For example, you may not have heard of this game, but go search it on YouTube. It sounds weird, but it looks incredible to me. Anyway, have I got bad taste? Possibly, but yeah, let me know if you go see the video. And the game's called Bound. Now, Bound is a game where you literally dance from the start of the game to the finish. You cannot die, so it's all about story. To me, that is incredible. That's really interesting, and I think it looks incredible, and I can't wait to play it. But games like Flower and Journey, I mean, look how great Journey was. You couldn't do that in a AAA game because people wouldn't accept it. They're like, I'm not paying $60 for a walking simulator, basically. So for me, they're definitely in there. Now, this second one that I'm going to talk about is a very difficult one to kind of choose between the two. I was thinking about games of my childhood, what I played, what I absolutely loved, and it was really down to two developers. So honourable mentions to the other one before we go on, and that's Insomniac. Honourable mentions to them. Their recent game's superb, but there has been a lot of, maybe misses, like Fuse, and they've had a few that aren't that great, but a lot of great games. But I had to give it to Sucker Punch, and then you might be surprised, but simply Sly Cooper was a fantastic game. To me, now this is just me, Sly Cooper was Uncharted with animals. You know what I mean? It was incredible. I loved Sly Cooper. Great series. I mean, it took kind of, more of an adult approach to a kids game, which obviously I loved. I loved the games. I even to this day, I'm going back after I've beaten Ratchet and Clank, after I've beaten Uncharted, and I'm gonna go back and platinum Sly Cooper 3, which means I've got all three the main ones done from the PS2. I love Sly Cooper. What a fantastic series that was. But on top of that, Infamous, you had the Infamous on the PS3, and some people didn't like it. I thought it was a fantastic game, but again, different opinions for different people. Second Son, I think, if that was a tech demo for the PS4, I think it was a fantastic one at that, in my opinion, but, I thought it was a fantastic game in general, and I think that they have a really good track record, so I'm extremely excited to play their new game, that Dead Don't Ride. I can't wait for that. Yeah, so Sucker Punch number 4 on the list. Now, this is another cheat. You could argue it's a cheat, you could argue this is possibly two developers mixed into one, but at the same time, they're all under one roof, they're all under one studio, as far as I'm aware, okay? If they're not, I'm going to tell you my favourite out of the two, and that is Japan Studio / Team Ico. Now, as far as I'm aware, now let me know if I'm wrong, but Team Ico has kind of gone under the roof and under Japan Studios, like, observation, as far as I'm aware. But again, I could be wrong. Japan Studio has done some superb games for a company. I was doing a little bit of research because Tim, great guy, obviously check him out. He was telling me that they were under a little bit of turmoil. I didn't know this, and then I did a bit of research, and apparently they were working on like 40 games at once, and nothing was getting done. So they brought in the head of Santa Monica, or the founder of Santa Monica, to work in the studio, and obviously we're getting more games now, so that's awesome. But nonetheless, they've put out some fantastic games like Demon Souls, Bloodborne, do you know what I'm saying? But on top of that, some of the greatest games of all time, in my humble opinion, were from Team Ico. From Ico, you know what I mean? Very creative name, but a lot more creative game. And Shadow of the Colossus, in my opinion, one of the greatest IPs ever. Shadow of the Colossus was one of the greatest games of all time, in my opinion. I'd love to see it on the PS2, PS4 sort of thing, with Ico. What a great game that was. It was a real emotional game. It was a really amazing game, and I recommend everyone tries it. If it does come to PS4, please buy it, please support it. So I'm incredibly excited for The Last Guardian. And yeah, that's why Japan Studios / Team Ico. Maybe it's cheating putting them both together, but hey, what are you going to do? Number 2. Now, number 2 and number 1 anytime could have switched for, if I was feeling different another day. But the way I'm feeling today, maybe the time of the year, with certain games coming out, I won't say which one, but excitement, but both incredible studios. But at number 2, Rockstar. Yes, Rockstar are incredible studio. They're huge. They're a huge studio. You look at, for example, Red Dead Redemption, another one of the greatest games of all time. You look at games like Bully, the GTA series, just amazing amount of games. They even did, for some reason, they did like a snooker game, which I don't even know why they did it, but apparently it was pretty good. For a snooker game, it was pretty good. But, they've done a ton of different games. But as far as I'm aware, they haven't ever done a bad one. And yeah, I mean, it's an incredible game. A lot of people hate it, a lot of people love it. I mean, but you know, I think they're a talented studio with one of the greatest IPs of all time. So yeah, they had to make the list. Now, unsurprisingly, as a Naughty Dog fanboy, I think you can guess who's at number one, but it has to be Naughty Dog, particularly PlayStation Naughty Dog. I believe Sony bought the studio from Nintendo, I believe. They used to do Nintendo games. I could be wrong on that case. Obviously, let me know. But I don't even know what games they did. You know what I mean? If I'm going to be completely honest, back then I don't even know what games they did. But what I do know is every single PlayStation game that they have done, they've had a hand in, they've worked on, have turned out to, in my opinion, be masterpieces. From the PlayStation 1, Crash Bandicoot, that was my childhood in a game, wrapped up in a nice furry orange bow. Do you know what I mean? That is Crash Bandicoot. I love that game. What an amazing franchise that is. And there's rumours it may be coming back E3, and I hope those rumours do come true. But what else, guys? What else have they done? Jak and Daxter on the PS2. That was a great game. A really hilariously funny game. It wasn't, believe it or not, it actually wasn't my favourite 3D platformer at the time. For me, it was always Ratchet and Clank and then Sly Cooper, which, if I say to a lot of people, it's like, what? Your favourite wasn't Jak and Daxter? Not that Jak and Daxter was bad, it was just, it was going up against such fierce competition that I had to give it to other ones. But then they created one of I'm going to say this, my favourite series in gaming. Now, I'm going to explain why in a minute. And that's Uncharted. I mean, the story, the graphics, the characters, everything about Uncharted, I love. Even the multiplayer. Some people didn't like 3. I thought it was pretty good. But I guess that's just me. But I thought it wasn't too bad. But in general, I love Naughty Dog. I love Uncharted, and you may have heard of it, but there's an Uncharted 4 coming pretty soon, so yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. But my opinion, I've said this many a time, the greatest game of all time was The Last of Us. I've never seen a game do story as well as graphics, as well as gameplay, as well as smart AI. Everything about that game, the world design, being a linear game with explorable places, everything in that game was amazing to me. And that's really, if that got a Last of Us 2, which is a rumour, that would be my favourite series of all time. But because it's only got one, I don't want to say it's my favourite series. But let me know, guys. Rambling on a little bit, you can understand why I didn't do all 3 questions in this video. But let me know, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think this should have been in there, that should have been in there? Let me know what you think, guys. But as always, this has been M&M Gaming. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're not already. And I'll catch you guys in a new video very soon.